All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Monday evening. Another edition of KFTV Live with CP the Franchise on the Solo Dolo. It is KFTV training camp week. And yesterday we had a blockbuster show with Ian Begley previewing training camp. Today, it is Media Day. On today's show, we're going to give you a rapid-fire recap of Knicks Media Day. Just the key sound bites that you need as Knicks get ready to kick off practice for the 23-24 campaign tomorrow. That is Tuesday. So let's get into it, man. Hit that like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Number one show for the fans by the fans. Number one podcast for the fans by the fans. This is KnicksFanTV. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. I'm hype, man. I'm ready. Basketball is here, and we ready to roll, man. Because baseball's been terrible for me. We'll see what's up with football. I got my Giants on against the Seahawks tonight on a Monday night football game. Giants never play well on Monday nights, so we'll see. But I'm hyped for the orange and blue. I'm hyped for the New York Knicks, baby. Let's go. And training camp kicked off at Tarrytown. They're going to head down to South Carolina to the Citadel tonight, or today, rather. They've already left. And then there we go. Practice underway. So let's get into it, man. Let's kick things off. Here was the floor general, Jalen Brunson, kicking things off at Media Day. Here's what he had to say. Let's hear it. This is courtesy of SNY. Here we go.
He was very excited to come into the season. This group, we have a bunch of guys who just love to work on their game, have great work ethic, all that stuff. We have guys we have to kick out of the gym. That's not a problem for guys to work on their game. So I think that's a plus for us. And I think we all come back better. We all come back wiser. We understand the task at hand, what we need to do. And that's just getting better every single day. And this is a great group. We have resilient guys and a lot of tough-minded, hardworking, and great teammates, resilient guys on this team. So I'm going to be more than happy to go in the games with this crew, and I'm excited.
All right, that was Jalen Brunson. Are we going to name captains this year? I wonder if they're going to name captains of the team. Should name him captain already. So that was Brunson meeting with the media. And look, always says the right things. And he's looking forward to another year under his belt as a floor general of the New York Knicks. He spoke about these guys being a resilient group. Starts with him. They bring in Josh Hart. They bring in DiVincenzo. So they're starting to bring some tough-minded guys into the fold here, and you're going to need that, especially when it comes to playing in April and May, and you hope June one day for this Knicks team. So it starts with Brunson at being the head of the table and certainly sending a right message to his teammates and the fans. So that was Brunson on what this team looks like this year. And again, you just hope for another year of chemistry especially between he and Brunson and Julius and RJ Barrett. Another year of chemistry between these guys. You hope that they're able to play better off of each other. And as Tom Thibodeau said today in Media Day, sacrifice for each other. They're going to have to sacrifice. And he mentioned those three in particular. Now, on the lighter side of this presser, Brunson was asked about Team USA and the FIBA World Cup in terms of the bragging rights that RJ Barrett now has. Here it is.
Jalen and RJ, can you guys just talk about FIBA World Cup, what you guys took away from it?
No. Nope. RJ can. I'm good.
I had a great time. I had a great experience. I got bragging rights in the locker room over here, so I'm good. I just realized that.
All right, so that was RJ saying bragging rights. Remember, over the summer, man, in that FIBA tournament, Team Canada beat Team USA in the bronze game, taking third place, taking the bronze medal, and sending USA home all the way from Southeast Asia with nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's RJ celebrating with on having that edge over them, and Brunson not really wanting to relive that. Tough way to roll. But congratulations to RJ and Team Canada. They certainly deserved it. RJ also talked about some of his chemistry with one Julius Randle, man, coming into year 5 now for RJ, and year 5 with the RJ and Julius tandem. Here it is.
Yeah, this is definitely a different.
Definitely got the wrong soundbite. Hang tight. Here was. Let's go back to RJ. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Here's RJ back. Here it is.
Good. I just realized that, like, I've only played, like, NBA basketball. Like, I've only known NBA basketball with Julius Randle. That's actually pretty cool. But nah, just, like you said, been here a while. Just kind of seeing the progression of teams, each year. Just excited to be back, and with the experience that we now have, the playoff run that we had, just kind of looking to build on more this season and then show and prove, who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and RJ and Julius, man, that tandem has been together 5 years now on the Knicks. 5 years for RJ and Julius. This is going into year 5 now, and look. The chemistry has been questionable. It's been questionable at times whether these two can play off of each other. They were able to do so in the COVID year with no fans. They seem to have some chemistry there. It's a little bit clunky, and you've seen Tom Thibodeau try to make his adjustments in terms of how he utilizes RJ and how he has him coming off the bench sometimes to kind of stagger that rotation, break up that 3 of Brunson and Julius and RJ. So again, another year. Let's see if they're able to achieve some sort of chemistry there, because with the two of these guys, you have two kind of high volume, inefficient scorers here. And so it's kind of clunky in the lineup, especially when you think about the spacing, them not being able to space off of each other, and then having Brunson in there in the middle. So it's kind of a difficult dynamic, but they were still able to achieve some success, especially on the offensive end, especially in isolation. So let's see how they fare again in year 5 together. And both RJ and Julius, as we know, went out in flames in Game 6 in Miami. Brunson, the only one who really showed up in that game. So let's see how they bounce back. Now, here's Julius. Here's Julius talking about his approach in the offseason, bouncing back from the ankle injury, and more. Here's Julius.
Yeah, this is definitely a different. Was a different offseason for sure for me, from a physical standpoint, and it will be a different training camp for sure. But it's exciting. I'm headed into my 10th year, which is crazy. And every year is a different challenge. And this is like no other year. It's a different challenge, but it's very exciting. I'm excited because I had to figure out different ways for, a good part of the summer to improve. So that was a fun challenge in itself. But like I said, on the physical part, I always knew the physical for me would be the last thing to come. But I think in every other area, as far as improving, I prepared myself for that. So.
So that was Julius on his approach. And look, we all know that Julius comes into camp healthy, in shape, in tip-top shape, sporting a new look, sporting a low-cut Caesar. Is that a little taper fade? All right, so he's got a little taper rocking, no more braids, no more half braids, half fro type of thing. He's going with the Caesar approach. So let's see if that does him any better this season. But certainly, you always have to love Julius's approach in coming into the season. It's just, how does he make it to April, and what does April look like for Julius Randle from a productivity standpoint? Now, here is Julius, the question that a lot of people wanted to know. A lot of people throwing their tinfoil hats on here in terms of him switching agencies. We talked to our guy Ian Begley of SNY yesterday, and Ian said that was going to be one of his questions coming into today's Media Day session was, what does it really mean, Julius, switching agencies from CAA, who he's been with for years, Aaron Mintz, to Wasserman Media and Entertainment with Bill Duffy? Here's Julius's explanation. Here it is.
Right.
So, can you tell us a little bit about that decision?
Yeah, it was I want to be closer with RJ.
Okay. You got sharing agent?
Yeah,
Yes,
no, we
sir.
sharing agent.
Yes, sir, Steve.
Yeah, but no, Aaron, man, Aaron was great. He's been with me for the majority of my career, and you know, he did a great job. You know, during that time, for me, it was, you know, like I said, I just wanted to be closer to RJ.
It's only
So there that is. You got nothing. We got nothing out of that whole exchange. Look, some fans want to throw the tinfoil hats on and say, Julius is leaving, he's getting out of here. We don't know. We do not know. I mean, if you look at his contract situation right now with the Knicks, he's got a player option for, let's look this up right here, Julius Randle contract. Take a look on Sports Track. Player option 25-26. So he's on contract with the Knicks for 2 more years before he's got his player option. I'm not worried about this for like another year and a half. You know, I'm not really worried about it. Some fans want to say, well, he's leaving. We'll see. Time will tell. I don't see why he would necessarily pass up if the Knicks were interested in bringing him back and able to provide him with more money, a better deal than he can get elsewhere. Not sure why he would pass up on that, but we'll see. We got a lot of time before we worry about that. We'll see if he gets traded before that anyway. Shout out to Houdini Stare, Melbourne, Australia in the house. Shout out to Houdini Stare. Shout out to our franchise channel members in the building. We got Pucadinho in here. TM, salute. JJ in here. What's good? D-Block 1755. Salute, man. If you guys want to call in, man, call us up 657-383-15509, or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord, man. CP the franchise recapping Knicks Media Day that went down today. We're hearing from RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson, the Knicks' big three. Here was another interesting one, and I'm only playing the interesting one. I'm not going with the fluff on most of these. You know, some of these are a little bit funny, but, you know, with Media Day, you don't get too much intel. But you get a couple of good ones that you can react to. Now, here was RJ on the possibility of playing the 4, because remember, we talked about Julius Randle. Knicks don't have a backup 4 right now. Knicks do not have a backup power forward. So let's hear. This was addressed to RJ in terms of potentially playing a 4 off the bench.
I don't really know anything about that yet. We haven't even had practice. But if that were to be the case, you know, comfortable, you know, very comfortable in that role. So is Josh, of course. So I think whatever we kind of need to do to win is what we'll do. Whatever the game, you know, tells us to do. So if that's what I have to do, then you know, I'll do it very willingly and gladly. I'll say every year is a new year. You know, last time I made it to the playoffs, next year didn't make it at all. So, you know, knowing that, just all the steps that we have to take starting day one, kind of just being together and kind of going out and improving it. We got to do it all over again, you know.
All right, so that was RJ Barrett. Now, Pucadinho in the chat says, do I believe that they will pick up a 4 before the deadline? I think it all depends, right? Is there an injury? Do they absolutely need one because of injury? Are they ineffective? Are they getting exposed because of their lack of size? Yes, there could be advantages when playing small, but are there disadvantages? You know, are there disadvantages? And so all of that has to be evaluated before they could be for certain if they need to go get one. But I don't think so off the jump. I think they're going to go in there with Josh Hart at the 4 and RJ at the 3. I think you're going to be looking at that bench unit with IQ, DiVincenzo, RJ, Hart, and iHart. And Hart's going to play some backup 4. You might have RJ. You know, you might have to use them interchangeably. Do they, if they go up against a Pelicans or bigger size team, is it more Sims and iHart? Is it, you know, it's a little 10 Twin Towers? You never know with Tibbs. But he seems to be comfortable with the prospect of mostly Josh Hart at the 4. And, hey, maybe RJ at the 4. A lot of you guys like to think that, you know, he should be able to get some minutes there, looking at how the league is going, trending a bit smaller in terms of lineups. We'll have to see. But certainly seems like RJ is handling that fairly well, especially in terms of how he answered the question. So we'll have to see. But I don't see them going out there and getting I don't see them going out there and getting a small power forward just yet. JJ says it's signed to Michael Green. Yeah, I was surprised he's still out there. I believe he's still out there. So I don't. It's gonna be left. That's gonna be my big question mark. Big question mark going into camp and into the season. So there that is. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP the Franchise here on the Ones Solo on this Media Day recap. Okay, here's Tibbs. Here's one of the good ones from Tibbs that I thought was pretty interesting. He was talking about this Knicks group coming into camp, and one of the key focal points. And here he is. Here's Tibbs, courtesy of SNY. Let's go. Here's Tibbs.
They continue to develop, and we started the year where we weren't shooting the ball great, and one of the goals last season was to be in the top 10 in three-pointers made, three-pointers attempted, and at league average in terms of percentage. And so we were almost there with percentage, but we finished in the top 10 in three-pointers made and three-pointers attempted. We also got to the line a lot. Top 3 there. So understanding value shots, the offensive rebounding was terrific. And so just continued improvement each and every day. And that's where we want to start this season, understanding, okay, this is our base. Now we got to continue to add to it.
All right, so that was Tibbs on one focal point, which is the Knicks 3-point shooting. And as he said, 3-point attempts, they were ranked 8th. All right, so for those of you that don't feel like he's an adaptable coach to today's game, Knicks ranked 8th in 3-point attempts this year. They were hoisting them up. They were 12th in 3-pointers made in the league, but 24th in percentage. 24th in percentage. So not as efficient as you would like to be. They are getting their shots up. They are getting their 3-point shots up, but just haven't been able to knock those down. And then when you look at where this team is in terms of 3-point shooting, you have Brunson, who's shown to be a great 3-point shooter, one of the best on the team, if not the best or most consistent 3-point shooter that they have on the team. IQ has shown his spots. Grimes, you hope, can be consistent in that regard. Only 27% in the postseason, not going to get it done. IQ as well, did not shoot the ball well in the playoffs. But over the course of the season, you hope that they can maintain above league average or for those two guys, especially closer to 40%. But that's where Dante DiVincenzo comes into play. I believe that's where DiVincenzo comes into play. Shot close to 40% from 3 last year for Golden State. Now, I understand it's different offenses, right? Knicks' offense is nowhere near as prolific as Golden State's can be, but that's going to be his role. You know, that's going to be DiVincenzo's role. So we'll have to see if he can give them a spark in that regard. You have to hope so, because that's why he was brought in here. Yes, to play defense, and yes, to play make a bit, but he's got to be able to shoot the ball, because that's certainly where he will help the Knicks. And I know a lot of fans were not enthused with this offseason because it didn't come with a big name or a Brunson type of deal, and they say, well, DiVincenzo's not a big deal. I get that as a standalone, but when you think about addressing some of the team's needs, that's what you got to look for. If you can't hit your doubles, your triples, your home runs, or your grand slams in the offseason, look to hit a single where you're getting somebody who can help close up some of the gaps where you're deficient. That's what Josh Hart did last year for the Knicks. He not only added on top of what they were doing, he helped shore up some areas as well. And so I think that's what DiVincenzo's here to do. And when you look at the Knicks, in terms of 3-point attempts, they were 5th in terms of open shot threes in the NBA. So they had their opportunities, but they finished in 17th in terms of percentage. So again, not efficient. They were, where were they in spot up shooting? They were 19th in the league in terms of spot up shooting. DiVincenzo was in the 91st percentile in terms of spot-up shooting. The Knicks were the 6th worst in terms of catch and shoot threes in the NBA. DiVincenzo was in the 94th percentile on catch and shoot threes in terms of being open. And when they consider open, that's where the closest defender is within 4 to 6 feet. So when you talk about shoring up some of your deficiencies, that's what we're talking about here. A guy who, if they run plays for him, run some plays for him, Tibbs. Get him out there in space. Find him in the corners. Run some plays on the pin down screens, on the dribble handoffs, and let it fly. I think that's what DiVincenzo is going to do, and you hope that he can maintain, again, league average close to 40%. It's going to be difficult to repeat that. Last year was a career mark for him. Can he do that again 2 years in a row? It's going to depend on how often or how effectively they can get him the ball. How effectively they can get him the ball. So that's where I feel like DiVincenzo is going to help. And again, we talked about Grimes and IQ along with Jalen Brunson. Then you have RJ, you have Julius, you have Hart, who you hope can fill in the gaps. Because, 8 attempts a game, 12 makes a game, but only 24th in the league. Got to narrow that gap a little bit. Definitely got to narrow that gap. Now, with DiVincenzo, you got to run plays for him. He was assisted on 92% of his three-pointers last year with the Warriors. So not a guy that you want putting the ball on the floor to go out there and get it. You got to set him up, and that's where the Knicks and Tibbs are going to have to run some plays. Run some plays and get him going. Get him open. You get him open. So there that is. Now, here was Tibbs on the changes of the guard in the East. Not really the changes in the guard, but the strengthening of the guard in terms of Milwaukee getting Dame, Holiday going to the Celtics. Here was Tibbs on a competitive Eastern Conference. Here we go, courtesy of SNY. Here we go.
Yeah, when you look at a Boston and a Milwaukee, well, they were already good before any of the trade stuff. And so we understand the challenge when we face those teams, but also not to overlook the other teams in the conference that have gotten a lot.
Euro De Niro, Rico World Peace, what's good?
Great challenge for us, and we have to understand that. We can't ease into this. We got to come out ready to go. I have great respect for them. And, you come into the season.
All right, so that was Tibbs on the East. And yeah, look, the East has gotten stronger in terms of Milwaukee and the Celtics. You got to put them in the first and second spot in the East, or 1A, 1B right now until the games are played and you get deep into the season. Who do you go 3? Who owns the third spot in the East right now? Is it the Cavaliers? Is it the Knicks? Who owns 3? If Harden's not showing up for work, I'm putting Philadelphia down in the East. I'm putting them down. Miami, I don't believe in them. And what was Jimmy Butler thinking at his media day? He was looking crazy. But, yeah, third or fourth is attainable. I think it's attainable. I think it's a 2-team race at the top, and the rest can battle it out. The rest can battle it out. Is it Cleveland? Is it us? What do you guys think in the chat, man? Leave some comments in the chat. Jamaica Queens 22, what's good? BLW, what's good? How you feeling? Shane Mack, how you feeling? Salute. What do you guys think, man? Bobby Taccio said Karen Butler. Yeah, he was looking like Karen Butler out there. Hey, whatever you're into, like I say, whatever you're into. So that was Tibbs on the competition in the East. Look, you know he's focused, and he's going to ride this team. This team is going to go. They're going to put in work from tomorrow, first day of practice, all the way to the end. So Tibbs knows what's at stake here. Let's see how this team takes form. No slow starts. No slow starts. You hope they can avoid that. Got off to a bad start last year, 10-13 through first or second week of December. And it's a tough schedule to start off. Remember that. It's a very tough schedule to start off. So you hope that they avoid slow starts. Now, here was the one. Here was the one from Tibbs, man, and I didn't know Tibbs had this in his game. I wasn't familiar with Tibbs' game here. You know, Evan Fournier, friend of the program, has been very, very outspoken about his time with the Knicks. He's tight. He said, I'm not playing. I want to be traded. I'm being held hostage. Everything. I mean, I don't know if they go to South Carolina tomorrow, he tries to pull a Latrell Sprewell on Tibbs. He's trying to get out of there. But nevertheless, they said he will report to practice. But here was Tibbs on the Fournier situation. Here he goes. Courtesy SNY. Here we go.
Respect for him. And, you know, you come into the season, I didn't go into the season thinking we were going to do the things that we ended up doing. We did it because we weren't having success one way. So we adjusted. And then the next group that went in, like, it's hard to argue with 37 and 22 and a +5 net rating. You know, so it is what it is, and then your job is to stay ready when, you know, so whatever it is that we're asking you to do, go out there and do it, be part of the team.
Whoa. Tibbs with that clapback. 37 and 22 +5 rating. The numbers don't lie. And isn't that funny? Tibbs, whenever the reporters bring up the numbers to him, he's always like, whatever in analytics, man, whatever. I'm going to stick to my game plan. When talking about 48, boy, he got the calculator out and got to dialing up. Numbers. That's hilarious. Man said that numbers don't lie. We got better when you were riding the pine. Pause. Somebody on Instagram, I was laughing at an Instagram comment. Somebody on IG said they turned 48 into souffle. I thought that was kind of funny, man. I thought that was kind of funny. So they turned him into a souffle. So, Tibbs with the clapback. I was not familiar with your game, sir. Well played. Very well played. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP the franchise here. You guys on the other side. Salute to all the family out there and the franchise channel members. Remember that these shows are sponsored by our friends at Manscaped, guys. It is October, and that means it is Balloween. Get it? Balloween. Pause. But for our friends at home, man, you know our guys at Manscaped always takes care of us with a great deal. 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. You can't beat it. You got the Lawnmower 4.0. There's a new lawnmower on the way. Still waiting on mine. It's a little back order. They got the Handyman, which is the closer shave. You have the Beard Hedger. You've got, you know, all type of skin cream, body wash, lotion, conditioner, shampoo, conditioner. You got your ball deodorant. I mean, they have everything you need. Fellas, there's no excuse in this day and age, especially with all the products that Manscaped has, to be taking care of yourself, to be grooming yourself from head to toe. And like I said, man, it is Balloween, so do not be caught lacking. Go out there and get your Lawnmower 4.0. Comes with skin-safe technology, LED light. You can do it in the shower. You can do it in the dark, whatever you're into. Waterproof, great battery life. And yeah, man, this is a game changer right here. So as usual, go ahead and go to manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. No testimonials. We don't need any testimonials. Just go get it. All right, just go get it, man. Salute to our guys at Manscaped. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that was Tom Thibodeau. Let's hear from Dante, the newest Knick, Dante DiVincenzo. Let's hear what Dante had to say. Here was Dante speaking on the reasons he joined the Knicks. Here was Dante DiVincenzo, courtesy of SNY. Here we go.
A couple things. One, first and foremost, I'm 2 hours away from my family, and family's everything to me. So, you know, adding on to that, you know, Nova guys are an extension of my family, Jalen especially, but ultimately, it's, you know, I like to win basketball games, and looking at, you know, the layout of where I was, you know, potentially going to land, I felt most comfortable coming here, adding the family aspect, and then adding just, you know, what they've done last year, and how I can kind of plug in and, you know, benefit from everybody around me, and to help this team just go further.
All right, so that was Dante. Why he joined up, said he wants to win. All right, so, for the talk that free agents may or may not take note of what the Knicks are doing, he wanted to win. The situation with Golden State, they couldn't afford to pay him with them being close to the second apron and them prioritizing going out there and getting Chris Paul. There was no way they were going to be able to afford DiVincenzo, so they had to let him walk. And the Knicks had the money to get him. Remember, Josh Hart took the sacrifice, took the haircut for this year, and they traded Obi. So they were able to get DiVincenzo the salary that they needed to get the mid-level, close to the mid-level exception for him to get his money. And so now you have the foursome of DiVincenzo, Brunson, Josh Hart, and don't forget about that guy, Ryan Arcidiacono. All right, so the squad is back together. The band is back together. And everybody is loving the Nova connection, all right? There we go, the Nova connection. So they had a little fun there, media day. I don't know if Brunson's rocking like the Bret Hart shades, but it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool there. So shout out to those guys. Has to be a cool moment, guys that you grew up with, you went to school with, you win 1 or 2 championships with. I don't remember who all was on the same squad when they won the 2. We got to get Mikal Bridges from Brooklyn. Go get Mikal Bridges. He should have been here already. No offense to Arcidiacono. But the guy who should really be the fourth Beatle here is Mikal Bridges. He should have been the first domino to fall. Scott Perry. The first domino to fall. But nevertheless, shout out to these guys. Whatever. All right? So, there that is. That was DiVincenzo on reuniting with the squad. Okay? So, shout out to DiVincenzo. Now, let's get to a question that was asked of DiVincenzo in terms of the lineup. A big question mark, one that we talked about with our guy Ian Begley on this show, was going to be, what is the lineup going to look like? Because the card rotation is clustered right now. Forget Brunson, he's a mainstay. IQ, RJ, DiVincenzo, Grimes, Hart. Some of you guys on McBride Hive, you still got hopes for McBride. What are they going to do? How do you manage that? And here is DiVincenzo on how this thing might look. Here we go.
We have a hell of a team, first and foremost. We have a hell of a coach, and, we're a deep team. I think there's going to be, a lot of different lineups, a lot of different, moving around. And, that's not my decision to make. That's not my focus. My focus is to come in and help any way Tibbs asked me to. I have great chemistry with certain guys that obviously I'm familiar with. At the same time, just playing with different lineups is going to help. And ultimately, the goal is to win games. It's not, to get, selfish, accolades and stuff. So if we win games, everybody eats around us. No.
All right, so that's the answer that you want from him, right? He's going to come in, be a model citizen. Whatever happens, happens. He's here to play. Yada, yada. So a lot of, some fans are asking, is he going to start? Is Grimes going to start? Tibbs kind of hinted at the fact that what's got them here so far is how they played, especially in the second half of last year. Quentin Grimes is going to start at the 2. It's his job to lose. But starting and finishing are totally different things. And as we saw especially with the Josh Hart trade last year, guys lost their spots in the finishing order, in the pecking order. Guys lost their spots. Josh Hart finished that game against Utah. That was his first game as a Knick. Came off the bench, but finished the game and helped them win the game. So with DiVincenzo, we'll be very interested to see how they manage that, especially in closing lineups. We talked about that with Ian Begley. I'm telling you right now, after every loss, there's going to be a fan out here that's going to call in and say, where was blank? And you could fill in the blank after that. Where was blank in crunch time? We needed him out there. Why didn't Tibbs put in blank? All you got to do is shuffle a name. Whoever's on the bench that night, just shuffle the name. But I think it's going to be merit-based. That's the only way they're going to be able to do it. It's going to be merit-based. Who's playing well? Who's trending well? How do they match up defensively? Are there any advantages offensively of playing one guy over another? But I'm still intrigued about this bench unit because the way I see it, I think RJ is going to continue to be staggered with that unit. And so you will have IQ, you have Dante, you have RJ Hart and I Hart as that second unit. I like that team in transition. They're a bit better spaced, especially with Dante in there. You have better three-point shooting out there, especially with Dante at the 2. And does that open things up? You hope that opens things up a little bit more for RJ to operate. And then you have guys like an IQ, you have a Dante, maybe a Hart, depending on how he's shooting. You have 3 potential three-point shooters on the floor. You have an I Hart who could space it a little bit better for you. And then with the 4 of those guys, you have 4 handlers. So 4 guys, 4 good rebounders as well. 4 good rebounding guards. Grab, get the rebound, and go. Get the rebound and go. So you got 4 guys that can run the break for them with that second unit. I hope that they get out there and run. And then from there, you hope that you find DiVincenzo out there in the corners. You find him out there on the perimeter for a nice three-point shot in transition. Get out and run. You got iHeart, a good passer as well. IQ working on his playmaking. Dante, good working on his playmaking. Selfless. Josh Hart, selfless. So let's see. It's hard to really know what what this bench unit is going to look like, especially without a traditional 4 out there. We just got to wait and see how they play. But I think defensively they're going to be getting after it as well. I'm very much looking forward to seeing IQ and DiVincenzo getting after it on the perimeter and then playing off of each other. So that was DiVincenzo. And, they asked him about the Nova connection, all of that. I mean, look, they're going to be asked that question every night that one of these guys has it going. So it seems like they're getting pretty annoyed by it by now, and I would be too. So, yeah. So you could be sure that they will be hearing most of that during the course of the season. Okay? So that was DiVincenzo. IQ, what it do? Manuel quickly met with the media as well. And one of the first questions, his dog, Obi Toppin, out of here. Let's see how IQ addressed it. Here he is speaking to the media. Here he is.
I still text him, call him, stuff like that. So, Obi getting traded. That's my guy. He got traded. It's a business. Happens. We moving on with the team we have now. Obi's still my guy. I still text him, call him, stuff like that. So,
all right, that was IQ. Very matter of fact. It's business. It's out of there. Obi, man, out of there. And here he is, the former number 1, Obadiah Toppin. Here he is in Indiana. Oh, boy. Left New York and got zeked already, man. What kind of haircut is that, man? Is that an Indiana haircut? Lord, what's going on, man? Maybe this is some sort of Gen Z thing, but boy, Obi left Brooklyn and he went crazy out there. He's going crazy out there. Man, oh man. But yeah, there's Obi in his yellow, blue, and white Pacer jersey, man. Wow. It's tough to see. But I am looking forward to watching that team, he and Halliburton. I think they're going to be box office. And look, I hope he flourishes. I really do. I hope he flourishes. Well, first thing he needs to do is bring his barber from Brooklyn to Indiana and pay him whatever he needs to live in or fly out once a week. Can't have this, man. He's still in New York at the end of the day. And yes, I would still invite Obi to the Once a Nick, Always a Nick barbecue. But boy, oh boy, you can't come back to Madison Square Garden on your first game back in February with this cut. You got to be out there high flying and catching lobs in the Garden. You got to switch the cut up, man. What happened, man? He just let it go. Boy, oh boy. And people be like, CP, why are you going on Indiana? Why are you going on Cleveland? Stuff like this, man. No disrespect to people that are from there. No disrespect. But boy, it's rough. Anyway, back to IQ. Here he was on the contract extension.
Honestly, I just been doing what I normally do, which is working hard every single day to get better. I let my agent pretty much handle all that stuff. But I've just been locked in on trying to get better, see what I can focus on to get better for this year. Helping myself and helping my team try to win games. So. Whatever happens, happens, because it's all up to my agent and, you know, the Knicks at that point. Like I said, I'm just worried about trying to get better each and every day, trying to reach my full potential and see how good I can get at this game. So,
all right, there we go. Shout out to my guy IQ, man. I'm rocking with IQ this year. You know, playoffs was a bit disappointing for him. I think he's bouncing back, man. I think he's gonna bounce back in a major way. Contract year, he's trying to get the bag. He's got to exercise some demons. I think IQ's going to be back, come back stronger, better than ever. He was out in the offseason working out with Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. You know, shout out the former Chris Jackson. So he's out there with a bucket getter. IQ knows what's going on. IQ knows what's going on. So I think they're going to take care of him. I think he will end up getting a deal with the Knicks before the season's over. Maybe... maybe it's before the season starts. I think it could be before the season starts. I think they will take care of him. And it'll be in the range of, I'm going to go 4 years, 19. Yeah. Let me take a look at RJ's contract. Let's take a look at RJ's contract real quick. I think, here we go. So RJ signed at 4,107, and he's at 23 this year, 23.8, 25.7, 27.7, 29.6. I think IQ gets about 480. That's where I'm going. I think he gets about 480, average 20 a year. That's my pick for IQ. And what we give Josh Hart again? Josh Hart got almost the same. What Josh Hart get? He got 494, but that's with the 12 that he's getting right now. So on average, yeah, so Josh Hart is around 18, 19, 20. He's around 20. So I think IQ gets around that. 480. Nelson Blake says the same. Yeah. I think IQ gets about 480, and I think they'll get it done. Now, is he going to be here long term? Who knows? Because he's going to be one of their prime trade pieces. If they're going to go out there and make a trade, teams are going to want Emmanuel quickly, and the two-way players are hard to find. And his defensive game has been stellar. Offensively in the regular season, he stepped his game up in a major way last year. See if he can repeat it. A solid playoff performance will certainly do him good. Now, I'm not buying the starter talk. I don't think he goes out and hits open market and gets a starter deal with like the Spurs or something like that. I'm not buying that. But I think he will be a high-paid sixth man. I think he'll be a high-paid sixth man. Yeah. So, salute. Absolutely, salute. All right, so that was IQ. And most of the media day stuff, man. And so the Knicks will practice on October 3rd. And then they will kick off the preseason on the 9th against the Boston Celtics. Now, remember yesterday on last night's show with Ian Begley, man, I told you guys that I had an announcement to make in regards to the Knicks and the Celtics. So here it is for those of you watching right now. Boom! I'm giving you guys 2 tickets to the Knicks versus Celtics home opener on October 25th. That is Wednesday, October 25th. Be in the building with the whole gang, man. I'll be there. My guy CK2K, the KFTV family, the Knicks chick will be in there. The sold-out Madison Square Garden, Brunson, Tatum. You got Brown, you got Randall, Drew Holiday jumping into the mix. 2 tickets, and that is courtesy of our friends at Underdog Fantasy. This year, we are working with Underdog Fantasy to give you guys an incredible experience when it comes to pick'em and daily fantasy games. And so, to celebrate our new partnership, we're giving away 2 tickets to Knicks fans to head to the game. And all you got to do is go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use our code KFTV to sign up. And when you sign up, same deal in the deposits. They will match your deposit 100% up to $100. And also you'll qualify for a free pick in an Underdog Pick'em game. So it's a real good deal. Like I said, 2 tickets giving away 2 tickets to the Knicks versus Celtics home opener. All you got to do is go to underdogfantasy.com and use promo code KFTV to sign up. And we're going to announce the winner on Thursday, October 19th. Thursday, October 19th. Remember, the sign up is free. If you want to play Underdog Fantasy and pick them, you can make a deposit and they will match your deposit as well. So it is a great deal. Deuce Hammer says CP provided for the fans. This is what I do. CP Claus is what they call me. I get the people what they need. We give away tickets. When I get to MSG, I'm giving away merch. I got the snaps in the bag. I'm giving away to fans. This is what we do, man. We give back to the people. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. This is what we live by. It's not just a statement, people. It's not just a statement. But anyway, I'm very excited to be working with Underdog. We're going to be doing our Game of the Weeks now, play-by-play, hosted by JD Sports Talk. That will be an Underdog game. So make sure you guys go out there and sign up. The play-by-plays every week is going to be insane, especially with JD calling the game, and that will have a nice Underdog integration with it. So make sure that you guys go ahead and sign up. I'm looking forward to a season-long partnership with Underdog. And I'm seeing on the graphic, it's a little my fault. Let me put up the new graphic here. Let me put up the new graphic. Because I had Underdog.fantasies. Thanks for the catch. Shout out to I saw somebody in the chat that caught that. A little error. So it's UnderdogFantasy.com. UnderdogFantasy.com. No dot. UnderdogFantasy.com. UnderdogFantasy.com. And we'll say that again. So we'll have links in the chat. We'll have links on the comment section. We'll have links on the Nightbot, on the chat bot. UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code KFTV to sign up. And once again, if you want to make a deposit and play the games, you can deposit as little as $10, and they will match your deposit up to 100% up to $100, and you can get a free pick as well. And so the winner will be announced on a special edition of KnicksFanTV on October 19th. Special edition of KnicksFanTV. Bobby Tacho says CP for the people. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. All right. So that was that with Media Day. We got practice kicking off tomorrow. Let's let the games begin, ladies and gentlemen. Let the games begin. So either way, we will catch up with you guys, man. We'll catch up with you guys tomorrow, matter of fact, because we have another special edition of KnicksFanTV tomorrow as we kick off training camp, man. We had Ian Begley last week, and we had Ian Begley last night on Sunday, and tomorrow, my guy Ariel Elwani joins the show. Big Knicks fan and one of the best content creators out there in the game right now, especially on the MMA and NBA wave. My guy Ariel Elwani is coming to the show. Very much looking forward to that episode, man. That is my guy right there, and we're going to have some fun with it, man. So turn your notifications on, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, and make sure you stay close so that you guys tap in. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Remember that this show is available in audio podcast format, man. All the major podcast platforms, so no reason to miss it. And yeah, man, we will tap into you guys tomorrow. Helwani and the franchise. Yeah, we out there, man. So